Hello everybody, and thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Armchair Gaming. I am your host, the Unbearable Gamer, also known as Sheldon, and today we are rocking a little bit of the old shoveling. Last week we were playing Call of Duty World War II, and we were evaluating what it is that makes video games hard. We engaged a bit of the Socratic method. It didn't go very well. I shouldn't say it didn't go very well. It went well enough. It was blah 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 blah. This is gonna go terribly. This would be a good start to the video. That's what this is. I'm gonna die. What's up, Reese? Where you go? Yeah, that's not okay, right? Stop! Go away. As I was saying, in the last episode, we looked at the Socratic method as a means of trying to gauge art as art. Oh, art. Sorry, video games as art, not art as art. Art is art. That's just a silly statement. Oh, I just swinging the wrong way. Over. Ooh, that looks like fire. How does one deal with this fire? I suppose it's a follow-up question. Oh. That seems like a smart idea. I'm probably not going to win this fight. So as I was saying, we engaged a little bit of the Socratic method in an attempt to kind of evaluate what is and what isn't art, and whether or not video games qualify as art. And we tried to land on the position that yes, video games are art, and I think we did a pretty reasonable job of that. I stand in the yes camp, so obviously there's a little bit of one-sidedness to the conversation. I believe video games are art, and I think they share a lot of similarities to what we consider to be art in general. And I think that's important to note. I'm leery to say that that video games are identical to art for a lot of reasons, but there certainly is a lot to be said of. Let me talk to you. Yeah, take my money. You too. So Mr. Hat, blah 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 blah. So today I wanted to take a look at some of the similarities between other art mediums in video games, and we'll start talking a little bit about subgenres. Is that I think I can. That started against Mr. Hat. Oh, that's not okay. I do enjoy that he falls in slow motion. What? That seems like... Okay, well, he's done. That was a bit of a wimpy fight, which is understandable. I appreciate you giving me all my gold back. So yeah, I think when we look at video games, one of the more entertaining things we get to observe is when we look at video games as an art form, I should say, I'm losing myself. Oh, yeah, sorry. So video games, of course, have some distinct similarities between with other art mediums. Yeah. Go away, Mr. Hat. Video games have some very real similarities between with other art mediums. And I think the easiest way to describe them is to kind of compare them to a play or a musical. As you're playing this game, you know, in the background is this delightfully charming music. Let's take this. Thank you. There is this. Obviously, you know, there is a story much like literary artworks. there is a there's music, and there's art, but it all comes together much like in theater. Yeah, so there's this they come across distinctly like a theatrical production, where there is this exploration. There is either a linear or non-linear story that gets played out. Layer of Mole Knight. No, let's fight this guy. And the actors all play their parts, and the only difference between either cinematic production or theater production is the fact that the audience involvement is direct, and it's not implicit. It's explicit, right? You progress the story directly, much like in a book, right? A book has a story between its pages, but until you interact with the pages and read the words, the story gets lost, much like a piece of music. There's those interactions are implicit. The story is kind of, it's there, it's to be felt and enjoyed. In this one, you compel the story, and it's you who plays either the hero or the anti-hero, or I guess the antagonist in linear stories, that progresses it. And I think that's it's gonna use the lasso, so I can't just beat him up the old school way. No, stop! He's gonna beat me up. He'll die. Do you drop? Do you drop? Okay, that'll work. Oh shit. So I'm gonna die here. That's okay with me. Bet your mom's proud of you, buddy. Because video games portray themselves so well as cinematic works or theatrical productions, there's this amalgamation of artwork or art mediums that come together to create a video game. So it's there's almost this elevation of bringing all art mediums. There's a reason why so many people are vastly inspired by video games, and some people like to reiterate and draw. What? That's garbage. Like to draw the characters in video games. There's this want to emulate video games that extends into the real world and real life, and a lot of people do fan art because they stop it, stupid plague rat explode. Thank you. God, nobody likes you. Even your mom. Otherwise, she would have made you explode. I'm gonna touch something. Yeah, that makes sense. That checks out. I'm gonna die. Oh, here. Jump that. Good. Attaboy. So when we're looking at video games, the art medium, we're trying to begin to see and understand what it is that the artist who developed that specific video game was doing. And I think that's important, right? Like, there's a reason why there are art study classes exist, right? There's an importance in that, in understanding. Like, that's when you're in an English class in grade school, you read up and you evaluate things like Shakespeare. And not a lot of people enjoy reading Shakespeare. I do personally, but Shakespeare is certainly not for everybody. And I understand that, but the understanding and appreciation of video games. Oh shoot! Be dumb. Yeah, the understanding and appreciation of video games as an art medium is critical. I feel like a little bit like I sounded like Barack Obama there. So as we evaluate, exploded on me. Fool. roast beef rat. This is a gimme bomb. Oh, it's not. It's a whole chicken. So, when I say video games offer all of these similarities to other, or similarities, so they have pieces of fudge. They don't have pieces of fudge. They have pieces of every other video game, or not video game, art form melded into them. There is this, at least from my perspective, this understanding that, no, stop, cool, yeah, explode, thank you. Boom, you're dead. You're dead. Sorry, I lost my train of thought again. They hold all these pieces of video games, and it's really interesting. Or not video games, art. It's really interesting to see this. Boom. Oh yeah, you're done. You can see it the way it plays out in video games. When we look at the Final Fantasy series. Boom. Oh shoot. Well, yeah. Do 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 do. Whee! Yeah, so video games provide an amalgam of all the other art forms. Not dissimilar to like how a theater production works, you know, when you're looking at theater production, oh shit. There is a clear understanding. Like when you're looking at a theater production or a movie, there's an understanding that the art form. Oh, what are you? Stop! What is this? What are you doing? You stop now. Bomb. Chicken. There is this kind of understanding that like these amalgams all come together to create a new art form when you're looking at a theater production or a movie, right? Like that's when somebody wins an award. Emmys? No, Grammy. No. What's the word I'm looking for? Everybody who knows stuff, please share. Please show me. Doesn't remember anything. That felt like a ripoff. And it's this amalgamation of all the other art forms come together in video games to create a final product that is its own art form. I just got a little lucky here. Go away. Go away. Thank you. Come. Go away. He's not even a mother to love. Ah! Oh boy. That's all there. Hey, buddy. Yeah. Boom. Chicken. So... Oh no. This guy like turns like a weird ogre. Yeah, buddy. Darn it. Hey, buddy. Yeah, do you think? Got him. John Gotti. Sorry, that was a moment of silence. I got really focused there. My bad, everybody. So, if you much like, again, like a movie, video games present, maybe not, they provide all these other art, like all the other art forms, like art theater, music. They bring them all together to create this new one, and then they they bring in this. That was a terrible idea. They bring forth this element of interaction to make it unique. I think that's what differentiates video games from other art forms, is that the interaction is so heavy. And I mean, I don't mean that in the fact that like no other art form has done that. Like when you're looking at fail. When you're looking at other art forms, there's a pretty distinct. Oh, hey, yeah, no. there's this, a lot of art forms provide that in like open fashion. Like when you go to a concert, there's some direct interaction, and I mean the direct interaction is obviously limited, right? It's not a true direct. Oh yeah, well let's just garbage. It's not. I'm gonna die here. I went to scratch my neck. That's what that happened. I got sidetracked scratching my neck. Let's see. Oh yes. The performance piece in music is fundamentally different. So like performance artists, you know, who do things on the streets, they're looking for human interaction. Music magicians, if you consider them like a form of theater, I suppose would be a pretty good example of that. Of audience third-party interaction. Good job. So I guess to wrap things up, video games take part from all art forms to create a new art form, much like movies and theater do, because it's not an original art form of itself. It's the secondary creation of a new work of art through utilizing a bunch of others. And that's gonna wrap up today's episode. If I'm not mistaken, we're coming up with the 15-minute mark. So I'm gonna turn it down here, and on the next episode we will be looking at subgenres of video games as art, because some video games, I would argue, are slightly more artistic than others. So I look forward to hanging out with everybody in the next episode. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you learned a little bit today, and I look forward to seeing everybody on the next episode. So thanks for tuning in, and bye for now.